can't afford the test strips every week. They're too expensive. Can we not talk about this in front of my family?
Welcome to Mojo Core. And today we're counting down our picks for the most dramatic real-world problems the Pittsburgh Trauma Medical Center has ever faced. Please be advised, some of these entries may be triggering.
You're done. Leave now, or I will have Ahmad escort you out.
Number 10, eating disorders.
Can't you just write me a prescription for some medicine? I'm sure it's just a summer cold.
You got somewhere to be?
Work.
When a woman enters the ER with a bad cough, she ends up leaving with a diagnosis for bulimia and a hope for a better future.
The enamel on the back of your teeth is worn away.
What does that mean?
It can happen if someone makes themselves vomit repeatedly. All the stomach acid dissolves the enamel.
What does that have to do with having pneumonia?
It may have caused it.
The Pitt understands that eating disorders can be invisible both physically and mentally. In fact, if it weren't for Mel picking up on the subtle cues, this woman may never have confronted her issues.
You're doing long-term damage to your body. And it doesn't just go away on its own. It's okay to ask for help.
By initially presenting this case as an ordinary cough, the Pitt smartly acknowledged that this kind of thing is rarely obvious at first glance. It takes someone with a good heart like Mel to put the pieces together.
Bulimia is treatable.
I was gonna stop. I stopped before.
Number 9, the deaf experience. Across the second season, Harlow spends at least a whopping 8 hours in the emergency room. And what was her issue? Headaches and nausea from a tight neck muscle. That's all.
This is hologram. She was seen in triage. CBC and CMP came back normal. IT was supposed to bring the VRI down, but they're slammed. I know a bit of sign language. Harlow, this is Dr. Santos.
Despite it being a relatively tame case, we have to see Harlow jump through hoop after hoop just to be seen and understood. Since ALS translators are in short supply and technology is far from flawless, it takes Harlow over half the season just to communicate with a doctor at all.
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, we're just gonna need to wait for an interpreter because I need to ask a million questions and I can't do it this way. So just call me when IT comes down.
It underscores the fact that, for individuals with different needs, the medical space still has a long way to go.
And I marked the trigger point that is bringing out your headache, and a shot of local anesthetic in that area could really help.
Yeah, let's do it.
Great.
Number 8, caretaker fatigue.
It's my mother. She fell.
What happened?
I fell in the yard, hurt my arm.
The Pitt makes it very clear that caring for others is a tough gig, emotionally, mentally, and physically. But that's doubly true for at-home caretakers. Take Mel's case in season 1, where a woman named Rita is clearly struggling being her mother's primary caregiver.
Are you the primary caregiver?
I'm her only caregiver. Ma'am, what medications are you on?
She's so tired, she actually ends up passing out in her car, leading Mel to think she may have abandoned her mom.
I'm just really glad you're back.
While that's thankfully not the case, the very fact it was a possibility highlights the intense pressure of being a caregiver, especially for family. As the Pitt shows, though, there's always support if you look for it.
You know, caretaker's fatigue is a real thing. You have to take care of yourself, otherwise you're gonna end up in here too.
Number 7, the effects of prison care. Injuries from a prison fight aren't Gus's only issues when he arrives at Pittsburgh Trauma Medical Center. As Dr. Al-Hashimi soon learns, the inmate isn't receiving nearly enough fruits or vegetables to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Albumin's low, total protein's low. He also has megaloblastic anemia.
Malnutrition.
Probably jail cuisine. Whitaker, what labs should we add?
B12, folate, iron levels.
Good.
Despite the assurances of the prison's healthcare team, she insists he stay at the hospital for proper treatment. However, she gets pushback from Robbie, who makes a good point that they simply don't have the resources to spare on recovering patients. But as Al-Hashimi succinctly puts it,
Everything I've done in my career is an effort to improve the system. Just because you know it's broken doesn't mean you stop trying.
Number 6, ICE deportations.
Dr. Santos.
Chantal,
How do you do?
are you Jude's legal guardian?
Yeah.
Our parents aren't around.
In a storyline that feels ripped from the headlines, Santos and Robbie's fear of parental neglect ends up being much worse. This kid's parents aren't around because they were deported. As a result, his college-aged sister is the only one to look out for him, and it's clearly too much. The Pitt colors this issue through Robbie and Santos's differing perspectives. Robbie thinks they'd be better off going back to their parents, while Santos believes they should stay since America is where they grew up.
They're gonna take my brother away from
It's an evaluation to determine if the injury and the drinking is cause for some kind of intervention.
I won't let you separate
We are
us.
required to...
No!
It's a complicated situation, but that's to be expected when you treat the whole and not just the part.
You know, patients come in here for help, right? Because they're either sick or they're injured, and documented or undocumented, they have a right to emergency care. TB, measles, fractures, none of it's getting treated because everybody's too scared to come in. But then they end up here anyway, but then it's too fucking late. So please, for the love of God, can you just go wait over there in the room with your detainees so I don't lose any more patients or staff?
Number 5, substance use disorder. Much like eating disorders, those who have unhealthy boundaries with illegal substances don't always show it on the outside. Take Frank Langdon.
I was hoping to surprise Abby and the kids, grilled some salmon for dinner.
Such an adrenaline junkie.
What'd you call me?
Your ice plunges, marathon man. Surprise, here's a dog. Surprise, here's some salmon.
Pissed in your cornflakes.
For the better part of season 1, he's the Golden Boy resident who, despite a few snafus with Santos, seems like an incredibly competent physician. That's why it hurts so much when we learn he's skimming his patients' prescriptions to self-treat his substance use disorder.
There's been some inconsistencies with meds intended for your patients.
What?
Frank, have you been helping yourself to benzos from the ER?
Yeah, I've been stealing blood, too.
Not only is it a gross betrayal of patient trust, but it's from a character who, for all intents and purposes, seemed pretty normal. The message is loud and clear. If Langdon is capable of doing this, who else might be suffering in silence?
Go home, Frank.
No, it's not like you think. You remember whenever I helped my parents move, I was too cheap to pay for movers. I hurt my back. I told you that. You teased me about it. Remember? Well, our own Dr. Hagen prescribed me some pain meds and muscle relaxants. I was just weaning myself off. It was just for maintenance. I'm done. Robbie, come on. You know me.
Number 4, violence against healthcare workers.
Sir, you're not allowed back there.
Unless what? I start a fight? Become homeless? Apparently that's what it takes.
I understand your frustration. I promise you'll be seen as soon as a provider is available.
It's a sad reality that, when tensions run high, even those trying to help end up in the crossfire. People like Dana Evans. PTMC's no-nonsense charge nurse was only guilty of defending her staff from a verbal tirade, and she ended up with a black eye for it.
Hard at work? I'll take my chances.
It's a truly jaw-dropping cliffhanger, but as the Pitt eloquently explains, violence against healthcare workers is an all-too common issue, particularly when staffing is short and lines are long. And yet, even with a shiner, Dana bucks up and returns to work, proving exactly why healthcare workers deserve everything.
You've been paroled.
Are you sure?
Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yep. Go check on Martin.
Number 3, human trafficking. McKay strikes us as the kind of person who's seen just about everything, so when she pulls Dana aside and wonders if her patient is being trafficked, you best believe we all sat up and listened.
Piper, are you okay with your boss being here while we talk?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you sure? I'm gonna be asking you some pretty personal questions.
She doesn't mind. We have no secrets.
The storyline plays out like a thriller film, with Dana and McKay desperately trying to convince the innocent Piper of the danger she's in.
Piper, do you want some privacy?
No, it's cool. She can stay.
Okay.
To us, the fact that she moved to a new city where she knows no one besides her controlling boss is evidence enough, but in a sad yet realistic turn of events, Piper doesn't agree. She checks out like normal, leaving McKay and Dana with nothing but a hope they were wrong.
I guess that's it then.
Well, if you change your mind, comes with the free pen.
Thank you both so much for your help.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Good luck to you both.
Number 2, the crippling cost of healthcare.
Yeah, I'm sorry you have to be here alone.
I missed my first bus transfer. Anyway.
While completely necessary, ER visits aren't without their own drawbacks. As one of Dr. Mohan's patients points out, just staying there for an afternoon will create crippling debt to him and his family. Keep in mind, this is after the hospital gave him a 40% discount too.
We don't have health insurance, so I don't think that we can afford this.
I'll have our case manager, Noah Hastings, come by. She's an expert in health insurance. She might have some options for you for coverage.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Mohan is understandably adamant that the man stay for treatment, but when she isn't looking, he takes off anyway. To him, being healthy isn't worth the crushing economic burden. Even though it sounds absolutely insane, it's a choice many Americans have to make every single day.
Okay, so what's that gonna cost?
I can't give you an exact amount, but roughly $35,000.
So after about 40%, I'll still have to pay what, like 20 grand?
The hospital can work out a payment plan.
Orlando, we'll be okay. We'll figure it out.
The Pitt knows that, for some, health isn't a right, it's a luxury.
My patient, he didn't have any insurance, and he was already in a mountain of medical debt. He couldn't afford any of his meds.
It's in the bag.
Insulin, test strips, electrolyte powder. I got him everything he needed for home.
Number 1, sexual violence. In what might be the most raw plotline in the Pitt so far, Dana and new nurse Emma are tasked with collecting samples from a recent survivor of sexual violence.
You're in a safe place now. I'm the charge nurse in the ED and a sexual assault nurse examiner. This is Emma. I'll be assisting.
And I'm Dr. Al-Hashimi. I'll be checking you for any injuries that need immediate attention.
From the moment we meet Alana, it's clear the Pitt is handling this story with care. We get scene after scene of Dana retrieving invasive evidence until, eventually, Alana needs a break and questions whether she wants to report at all.
Sorry, I can't.
Okay, it's okay. We can take a break. No problem.
I don't want to break. I want to stop.
Is this about reporting? Because you can do this collection without a police report for now, and none of it goes in your permanent medical record.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Seeing each step in such detail, as well as its effect on Alana, underscores how traumatic the act of coming forward really is, to say nothing of the impact on Dana and Emma.
Alana, this is a difficult process, to say the least. Why don't you take a breather and come back, and whatever you want to do, we'll do.
If you know anyone in the healthcare industry, what do they think of the Pitt? Is it as realistic as it seems? Let us know in the comments.